France 24's Luke Shrego is in Yerevan for us. He joins us live. Luke, voting is still underway with several more hours to go. What's the atmosphere like in the Armenian capital?
Well, you have to look at the background of the campaign that's been going on so far. It was extremely bitter, a lot of mudslinging, an extremely venomous campaign. And there are actually concerns on Sunday over coercion and vote buying. And there's even been some spots of violence with gunshots hitting the car of the head of one of the political lists. Now, he is okay. He posted pictures of his damaged car on social media, which was picked up by local media. But this is all happening against a background of deep voter apathy. At least 30% of Armenia's electorate of 2.5 million people are still undecided at least on the day of the vote. This is Armenia seeks to draw a line under its ongoing political crisis that's been going on since the end of the war against Azerbaijan last year. Now, for many, this is a choice about the least worst option. You've got Nikol Pashinyan, the embattled prime minister, and the man who lost the war. He is the man in the driving seat, and of course, former President Robert Kacharyan. Now, he, of course, represents the old regime. He ran the country from 1998 to 2008 and is seen here as a symbol of deep and entrenched corruption. So there really has been no one that stepped onto the political stage in recent months to take over. People here speaking of the need for change, for stability, and voting for patriotism and for the right values to triumph. The question really is which values are going to triumph? Which are those values going to be? People decrying what they call a false choice between security and democracy, with supporters of both sides deeply polarized. The question remains, what will Armenia do? Will it stay with the man who lost the war, or will it back a different horse?
Luke, to say these elections are taking place in an unusual and difficult context is a massive understatement.
Extremely. It's been 8 months since with Armenia doing a lot of introspection over that time, since it lost massive amounts of territory in the war, with thousands killed in the conflict. And it's led to security being an extremely large theme of the campaigning and the election. Now, Azerbaijan knows that its old foe is now terribly, terribly weakened. And the balance of power that from what it once was 30 years ago, when Armenia won all that territory in the first place at the beginning of the 90s, that's a complete reversal from what we see today. Now, Baku, of course, is seeking to push its advantage as much as it possibly can. For the last several weeks, there have been incursions of Azerbaijani troops into sovereign Armenian territory as they try to move on with border demarcation issues and where the new border is going to be. They're moving back effectively to where it was during the Soviet era. But there are so many different maps and so many different issues as to where it is. Few people can find any kind of agreement whatsoever on where that border should be. Now, of course, Armenia may once have been able to negotiate from a position of strength. The territories around Nagorno-Karabakh, if you remember, were meant to be a buffer zone and used as bargaining chips, ultimately to decide on how Karabakh may have had some sort of political status within Azerbaijan. But these days, Armenia has almost nothing to negotiate with, nothing to bargain with, and it's got little to trade, and Baku knows it.